Oh my goodness.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Donald Driver.
It takes 1 second to strap a seatbelt on. Well, let's do this. Let's do it together. Now, don't that feel better?
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways.
And I should have recognized your voice when you're harassing.
I'm watching you.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch. Can we get much higher?
Oh, yeah, we can go higher.
And Bowers sends one out to center, racing back his hill at the track. Wall, grand slam!
The Brewers are in the Mile High City to take on the Rockies. Our coverage starts tonight at 7:05 on your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 10:01, sunny, warm, humid today, a high of 87 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Eric Bilstead. Following some breaking news from northern Wisconsin, a guard at Copper Lake School for Girls faces child abuse charges for allegedly throwing an inmate against the wall. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel cites the criminal complaint, which says the guard allegedly injured a 17-year-old girl during a fight. That girl had refused to go back into her room, suffered a cut on her eye. Now, the charges come days after an inmate at Lincoln Hills School for Boys was charged, accused of killing a guard during a fight. President Biden will be in Madison on Friday. He's meeting with some Democratic governors today. He's going to try to convince them that he is good to go to be the nominee for the Democratic Party nomination. CBS News White House correspondent Nancy Cordes says there's growing pressure now from donors and members of Congress.
The fact that more and more Democratic lawmakers are comfortable going public with their concerns about his health, his ability to proceed with this campaign, his ability to serve 4 more years, that is what has to be most troubling to the White House at this point. In
Milwaukee, the results are in from an election on Tuesday. State Representative Dora Drake won a special primary election for the state's 4th Senate district. She's going to finish the term of former State Senator Lena Taylor. Now, Glendale police removed several election observers for disruptive behavior at 2 polling locations on Tuesday morning.
Glendale Mayor Brian Kennedy tells the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that observers were hovering over poll workers and objecting to absentee ballots. They were registered either for the Republican Party or as concerned citizens. Police removed some election observers from the Bavarian Beer House and Good Hope Elementary School polling locations. Other observers who complied with a warning from election administrators were allowed to stay. Mayor Kennedy said many of the observers are from Norway in Racine County, about an hour away from Glendale. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Another drug now approved to help people with Alzheimer's. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
The FDA has now approved Eli Lilly's new Alzheimer's drug called Kisunla. This makes it the second drug available right now to U.S. patients to help improve symptoms for people who are in early stages of the disease.
Now, a year-long treatment will cost about $32,000, but it is expected to be covered by Medicare. While millions will be traveling for the holidays, many others are actually staying put.
Sure seems like everybody's traveling for the 4th of July, but in Metro Detroit and surely elsewhere, it's clearly not everyone.
Going to a cousin's house. We're going to celebrate my mom's birthday, and then we're going to just light off some fireworks, have some fun, spend time with family.
It's a pool. I'm going over to my uncle's house. He has a pool, so yep, we'll probably just be outside all day.
I'm probably just going to go to my aunt's lake house. And we're going to, eat food, set off fireworks, all that.
I'm working. The 2 million Michiganders that are expected to travel over this holiday are the exception. Mike Campbell for CBS News,
Time
Detroit.
Now for News About Your Money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Right now, the Dow is down 68 to 39,263. The NASDAQ up 49 to 18,078. And the S&P is up 8 to 55,17. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite Financial Planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Aside and Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
Hey, Dylan, have you seen Jeff Sherman? We're supposed to get lunch and check out some of the concerts.
I think he's at Yield. You know, that Cosmic Corn Maze experience.
All right, where am I? Well, come on. How do I get out of here?
Join WTMJ at Summerfest as we broadcast live all 3 weekends from our Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio. It's Summerfest 2024, and we're there live all fest long on WTMJ.
I'm Dave Sager. I'm the chairman of Bethlehem Evangelical Lutheran Church and School. In 1998, we made a decision to buy some property in Germantown. It was always the mindset. Someday we would build a church on that property. Horicon Bank bent over backwards for us repeatedly. I can't tell you how many times I reached out to Michelle on a Saturday, on a Sunday. Can you help me out? And it would not be possible without Horicon Bank and Catalyst Construction. Just amazing individuals, and it's all family.
When traveling at 20 miles per hour, the average stopping distance is about 40 feet.
That stopping power is calculated in both thinking and braking distance.
And assuming you've got the thinking and braking part down, the only thing left is good tires.
Just Google Richlands to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 convenient locations.
And rest assured, we'll put you in the right tire no matter what sort of vehicle you drive.
Plus, every tire purchase that we install automatically comes with our free flat tire protection plan.
5 conveniently located facilities, all AAA approved.
And all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to install your tires.
So Google Richlands.
Or go to richlands.com.
And remember to be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you have good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, your
due for tire service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers make a trade. They get a pitcher, Aaron Savale from the Tampa Bay Rays, in exchange for infield prospect Gregory Barrios. MLB.com says Barrios was ranked number 21 of the Milwaukee's top 30 prospects. Meanwhile, the Brewers did beat the Rockies Tuesday night. Same teams tonight, right here on WTMJ. WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving, time saver traffic. An accident earlier on 894 has been cleared. Still a bit slow heading westbound, but that's always the case through the road work there. But you're going to see some brake lights from the Mitchell to the Hale because of the road work in that stretch as they deal with that again, that accident on the left lane headed east there by 76th Street. So a little bit of backup heading east, but most of the slowdowns are heading west right now on 894. Elsewhere, 94 eastbound, Highway 16 through the zoo into downtown. You'll see some congestion as you get past the stadium closer to the Marquette, but you will get through it. Nothing is closed.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line. 414-238-9329.
WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunny, warm, and humid today. A high of 87. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 68. For your Thursday, July 4th, partly cloudy. Should be dry Thursday morning, but there is a chance for a shower or a storm later on in the day on Thursday and into Thursday night. So keep an eye on that. A high of 82. Friday, more of a likely chance of scattered showers and storms. A high of 78. Saturday looks dry at the moment. Sunny, high of 80. Sunday, chance for rain again and a high of 81. Right now in Milwaukee, 77. I'm Eric Bilstead, Side and Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. It's time for the Upswing on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Showcasing businesses, entrepreneurs, and community leaders throughout the great state of Wisconsin. Here's Jeff Sherman.
'Cause I'm gonna make this place your
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. Conversations at the intersection of life, business, and community. The Wednesday Upswing. We're all business today. Headlines and unique insights on local and national business items from the Milwaukee Business Journal. Joining us today, senior reporter from the Milwaukee Business Journal, Rich Kirchen. Rich, thanks for taking the time this morning.
Great to be here.
All right, let's get right into it. Let's go to the movies this morning, so to speak. Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2, easily the biggest movie hit of the summer. Have you seen it yet, Rich?
I did not.
No.
How about you?
I have not, but I think I may try to incent the family possibly to see it tonight. I'm a big fan of Pixar. I like the first one, and if there's a movie, I probably only see a handful of movies in the theater every year, but if there's a movie I want to see in the theater, it's this one.
What's the incentive?
Well, the incentive is, come on, Dad wants to do it. Let's gather as a family. There's some, issues in the film around, growing up and dealing with stuff in your life. And I've just, the reviews I've seen have been really, really good. It's also the newest member of the $1 Billion Club. Animated feature, again, the highest grossing film of the year, topped $1 billion. Personally, I think there's a lot of overreactions to films that are, doing really good or doing really poorly. I don't think not one single film is going to save the movie business. It's kind of a business that's, in decline, and that's just because perceptions and preferences are changing. But it's not going to hit rock bottom. And I found it interesting that, at least locally, Marcus Corporation has to be happy, and it's added a new theater to its national portfolio.
Yes, they did. Up in the Twin Cities, they picked up the Showplace Icon Theater and Kitchen at the Shops at West End. Marcus sort of has continued to, over a long period of time, add screens around the upper Midwest. And of course, they've had to close some screens as well as the industry has contracted. But they have 78 locations across 17 states, 981 screens. They're clearly committed to the business.
Yeah, and it's a good adjacent. It's not an adjacent business, but it works well with their real estate portfolio, their shopping center portfolio, and it's kind of an all-in entertainment lens. And I think it helps boost their other entities as well. And Greg Marcus said in a statement that a combination of factors played into a little lower earnings last time, carryover films released during the holidays, the aftermath of the Hollywood writers' strike, and kind of an underwhelming movie slate. But stuff like Inside Out 2 might just be what the doctor ordered. Let's see how it plays out. I'll give you my review if I can incent the Sherman family to head to the theaters this weekend. All right. Wisconsin has been talking about tech hubs for years. Yesterday, at least from a funding standpoint, one arrived. This is the Upswing presented by Horicon Bank. We're joined by Rich Kirchen from the Milwaukee Business Journal, and we'll be right back.
It's Tori Lowe from 1017 The Truth, and violence is a problem which impacts us all, but together we can make a difference. Join me and the 620 WTMJ team on Saturday, July 20th from 9 a.m. to noon for our second annual Walk Against Violence. Enough is enough. Now it's time to bring an end to senseless violence in our community and encourage for a safer, stronger Milwaukee. Visit 1017thetruth.com to sign up today. Together, we can bring an end to violence.
You're hearing it every day. Another political ad, another agenda. But no matter what happens in this election or the next, you still have the power to control your financial future. Elections can impact a lot of things, including the stock market, inflation, and taxes. And if you're thinking about retirement, I'd love to get you our Retirement Ready Toolkit to prepare you for the retirement you've always envisioned. Our team of advisors at Drake & Associates will show you how your savings might be affected and what you can do now to help prepare. Don't let this election or any election control your retirement future. Call or text PREPARE to 414-441-5451 to get your complimentary Retirement Ready Toolkit. That's PREPARE to 414-441-5451.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Buying a home should be a joy, but could you imagine doing this without a realtor? Paperwork, inspections, appraisals, deadlines, showings, market research? Or you could relax. Or understanding legal documents, negotiating offers, coordinating inspections, securing finance. Oh, sorry. A realtor can take the stress out of the home buying process. See how at wra.org/a-realtor-can. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Realtors Association.
Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
to the Upswing. Senior reporter from Milwaukee Business Journal, Rich Kirchen, joins us today. A fast and furious look at business headlines from across the area and across the state. The Wisconsin Biohealth Tech Hub has won a share of $504 million from the Biden administration. The Tech Hub is here, Rich. What is it, and how did it all happen?
Well, the latest news was Wisconsin's share, this Wisconsin Biohealth Tech Hub, gets $49 million from the CHIPS Act, which is the federal legislation to boost computer chip and other industries, tech industries. The state already has agreed to $7.5 million, and then industry partners $24 million, for a total of $80 million. The industry partners are pretty impressive here. It's GE Healthcare, Rockwell Automation, Exact Sciences, Employ Milwaukee, MATC, UW-Madison, and the Milwaukee 7. At this point, it's the idea clearly is to create new technologies, advance existing technologies, work toward the future, and it's important. Right now it's fairly small. It's just a few employees that they're anticipating working specifically for the hub, but they're saying long term they think this can create up to 30,000 jobs in personalized medicine. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, in October 2023, the Biotech Tech Hub was just one of 31 regional hubs by the Biden administration, selected from a pool of 192. So, to be in that mix, obviously it's an election year, so funding tends to kind of follow the election year cycle. But it's a big opportunity for the state and the region to continue to grow the ecosystems and to incent people around recruitment and retention in the state of Wisconsin. And to have those dollars and to have the designation, I think is a big win for the state. Where do you see locations? And obviously there's a couple that come to mind, but will there be a central office or is there already?
Well, I'm sure the central office is where Wendy Harris, who's the regional innovation officer, is based, which is here in the Milwaukee area. We did have a story yesterday saying that it was likely they would open an office in the Milwaukee area. The research park in Wauwatosa certainly would be a logical location. You wonder about downtown Milwaukee area as well.
Yeah. I mean, having access to the job force down here in downtown Milwaukee could be key. So the Biden administration has described, just a little bit more background, personalized medicine as an emerging healthcare approach that tailors tests, treatments, and therapies informed by a patient's unique genetic code, medical records, and environment. So obviously it's biohealth and tech, but there's adjacent business units that are all part of this, and the companies you mentioned are all a part of it. So it should be interesting to see how this continues to grow and how companies kind of tap into it to attract and retain new talent to the region. So from one funding story about bread to another funding story about real bread, maybe some breadcrumbs, Rich Kirchen.
Yes.
A 107-year-old bakery business in Waukesha plans to expand its operations in Cudahy.
Yeah, that's the Legacy Bakehouse in Waukesha. They acquired the former Angelic Bakehouse, which closed in March. Angelic seemed to be a Milwaukee success story, and they were sold to private equity owners who decided they didn't need that capacity.
Yes.
So good turnaround for that property. A Legacy Bakehouse says they need the capacity themselves. And yes, they do. We were talking about breadcrumbs. It's one of their products, which I was offering from my toaster. Anytime. Stop by and
just take it from that bottom.
Just
bottom
take
bin.
it out of there. But they do make breadsticks, croutons, rye crisps, bagel chips, and snack mixes.
All right, very good. Well, it's good to see that the space will be able to be repurposed by a business that needed new space. Obviously, as you stated, the Angelic Bakehouse. the move to private equity probably didn't flush out for them exactly the way that they intended. But, hey, you reemerge with a legacy business moving into the space.
Right, yeah.
All right. I know I saw Teddy Nichols' piece at Milwaukee Business Journal on renting at the Couture. Who is renting those apartments at the Couture? And let's get some flavor in terms of what the rents are, what the square footage is, and maybe we'll compare a little bit to what we're hearing in Manhattan. Big dollars, big rents. Are they coming to downtown Milwaukee? This is the Upswing presented by Horicon Bank, and you're listening to WTMJ.
Wisconsin's Morning News
is long past filtering into the branch of our government that is to be explicitly apolitical.
Listen to Vince Vetrano every weekday starting at 6 a.m.
Talked about this before, the appearance of impropriety. If it looks like the fix is in, then you can't blame people when they argued the fix was in.
Perception becomes reality.
And if we can't have faith in the decisions of our judiciary, we are truly lost.
Only here on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
Hi, this is WTMJ's Jeff Sherman with a few words about my friends at Horicon Bank. For more than 125 years, Horicon Bank has built a foundation of beneficial relationships with their customers. Now serving the greater Milwaukee area with branches in Wauwatosa, my hometown, New Berlin, Menominee Falls, and Grafton, Horicon Bank is eternally linked to the growth and prosperity of the families and businesses in our community. Together, doing good. That's Horicon Bank's vision for all of your commercial and personal banking needs. Horicon Bank truly is the natural choice. Member FDIC.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Did your home suffer damage from a storm or severe weather? Don't stress any longer. Loyal Family Renovations treats all of its customers like they've joined their personal family, and every project as if the work was being done at their own house. Loyal Family Renovations has a leg up on the competition due to the personal relationships they've built with insurance adjusters over the years. Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today to get your free home inspection. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
Downtown Milwaukee is the place to be for summer fun. Festa Italiana kicks off its 3-day celebration today at the Italian Community Center. Plus, the Frank Mott's International Kite Festival is back at the lakefront Saturday and Sunday. Head to Veterans Park for a dazzling display of hundreds of kites in all shapes and sizes. So come on down. Experience downtown in every sense. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Welcome back to the Upswing, joined by senior reporter Rich Kirchen of the Milwaukee Business Journal today from the WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620 from the 262. An insightful observation here. I suspect at least part of President Biden's Madison visit on Friday will be to promote the $49 million Tech Hub grant just approved for Wisconsin. Indeed, I'm sure it will be on his talking points for his visit come Friday. Rich, I think it was a couple of days ago, Teddy Nichol from the Business Journal talked to Rick Barrett of the Couture developer. Rick is from Barrett Lowe Visionary Development. What did she learn about the units that are available and kind of who is renting the Couture, the beautiful white growing building on Milwaukee's lakefront?
Yeah, Rick said that they're 10% occupied right now, 23% leased, so not everyone's moved in. And in fact, they are doing sort of the finishing touches on that building, even though it's open. He talked about some of their key targets as young professionals, empty nesters, and couples with 2 incomes and no kids. Price range, again, this is on the high end for the Milwaukee market, even downtown luxury apartments. 576 square feet, which is pretty snug.
Yeah. I think my dorm room at Marquette was a little larger than that.
1,945 per month.
All right.
If you want a 2-bedroom unit, they range from $3,800 to $4,800. If you're looking at the top floors, 41 through 45, as I'm guessing you are, when you become an empty nester, it sounds like those are probably something you're going to negotiate. All but one of those is leased, and the one that is left is about 1,700 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, $8,000 a month.
Okay. And the construction on the top floor units is still being wrapped up, even though a lot of the residents moved in April. The top units are completion set for end of July. Obviously, with Summerfest, the third weekend happening now, the streetcar is running just its lakefront line through the Couture. I know there's a giant video jumbotron that's going to go up there. So a lot of things coming to the building. What are your general thoughts on the opportunity for restaurant and retail at that space? Obviously, that's the next phase once they get all the tenants in. Is there something unique retail-wise that you think could work at the lakefront?
I think retail it would be a major challenge. Certainly, if you have something that's unique to the market that the consumers want to see in Milwaukee and that is not available here or nearby, that's a possibility. I'm not even sure which brand that would be these days.
Yeah.
It used to be. an ESPN store.
Right.
That I don't think that would do it.
No.
Restaurant is an intriguing possibility. I mean, you've got the Bartolotta restaurant essentially across the street down there.
Right.
And it is a destination. So, I mean, there's some precedent for a lakefront restaurant having some success. I mean, and the Lake Park Bistro also, of course, overlooks the lake. It is tricky. I mean, as anyone who does business downtown will point out, you have, your customers to the east are limited to fish and other aquatic creatures in Lake Michigan. So you're really just drawing from the west, north, and south.
Yeah, exactly that. You look at the economic opportunity, and obviously to the east, there's a big lake. So you're not having people coming in on boats and get off the boats and come shop at your store. That's just not going to happen. And, places, even lifestyle centers like Bayshore Town Center have that similar challenge because you don't have that population base to the east, whereas you go a little farther west, you have, the 365 radius that you're drawing from. So that will be interesting to see. I think they'll be able to attract a restaurant or two, whether it's coffee or kind of higher end. There's enough residents there, and having destination restaurants is still something that I think the market, needs, and I'm sure is in their target for sure.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to make it on the residents of the building alone. They really need to get downtown and beyond, going to their restaurants or stores.
Yeah. All right. A quick update on a story you were working on. The Shopko Optical sale is final. I mean, since their bankruptcy slated sale, Shopko Optical has completed its sale. Any impact there in terms of stores closing in the area?
Yeah, no initial indication. The new owners from Germany are expanding in the U.S., and they certainly seem to value this Stein Optical business, which has been growing once it sort of spun off from the parent company that was bankrupt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Shopko Optical operates over 140 stores across 13 states, generated over $168 million in revenue in 2023, according to a press release from the company. Just quickly on, you had an item yesterday about layoffs at Briggs & Stratton. There isn't any impact in Wisconsin to those layoffs, correct?
Not that we know of, other than it's a sign of the larger Briggs business, their lawn and garden products business apparently being a little slower than they thought. This is their plant in Auburn, Alabama, about 38 layoffs.
Okay. All right. Something to keep an eye on as we move forward. When we come back, we'll move from couture high-rise to hi-fi. There has been a proliferation of vinyl lounges in the Milwaukee area, and a new one is coming to Milwaukee's Brady Street. We'll tell you all about that and get some insight from Rich Kirchen, senior reporter at the Milwaukee Business Journal. Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 10:30. ABC News and then local headlines are coming up next.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Biden is blaming his poor debate performance on international travel that he took in the weeks leading up to the showdown. Some leading Democrats, however, are now being public about their concerns with 4 months until the presidential election. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
The president has started to have conversations with lawmakers on Capitol Hill. Many of those lawmakers have been acknowledging very publicly that they are frustrated, obviously, by how things played out on the debate stage. There is some level of concern there, although the closest allies to President Biden are still standing behind him, backing him, saying that he does have the best shot going forward.
In the days since the debate, Donald Trump has been relatively quiet, letting the spotlight focus on what's been happening with the Democrats. Hurricane Beryl about to swipe Jamaica on its way through the Caribbean. Right now, it's still a Category 4 storm. More than 120 people killed on Tuesday in a stampede at a religious festival in India. Officials there blame overcrowding and insufficient exits. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. Protesters are taking the city of Milwaukee to federal court today. Demonstrators want to be within sight and sound of Pfizer Forum during the Republican National Convention. A judge hearing arguments today. The RNC, meanwhile, less than 2 weeks away. President Biden is back in Wisconsin Friday. He'll visit Madison. A guard at Copper Lake School for Girls faces child abuse charges for allegedly throwing an inmate against the wall. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel cites the criminal complaint, which says the guard allegedly injured a 17-year-old girl during a fight. She had refused to go back into her room. And the Brewers trade in infield prospect for more pitching. They get Rays starter Aaron Savale. MLB.com says Gregory Barrios, the number 21 of the Milwaukee's top 30 prospects, will get sent to Tampa Bay. Time now for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Mixed bag at the moment. The Dow is down 64 to 39,265. The NASDAQ up 82 to 18,110. And the S&P is up 11 to 55,20. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving. Time saver traffic, still very slow, 894 westbound. You're just kind of crawling through the roadwork in that area, again, between the Mitchell and the Hale heading west. Eastbound also slow at times because they've had this crash blocking the left lane near 76th Street there. So right after you get out of the Hale and you're heading east there, you're going to see some slowdowns as they deal with that crash. They've been trying to clear that scene for a bit now. It's getting better, but still you'll see some slowdowns, of course, losing that lane. In the WTMJ 5-day forecast, sunny, warm, and humid today, a high of 87. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 68. For Thursday, partly cloudy, a high of 82. Should be dry through the morning, but there's a chance still for a pop-up shower or storm to show up later on in the day on Thursday into Thursday evening. Friday, more likely that you'll see scattered showers, a high of 78. Saturday, sunny, a high of 80. Sunday, more rain, possible, a high of 81 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 77. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:34.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
But the car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
The new fractured boulders we now have in stock are really nice. They're squarer and more rectangular in shape, and they're great for building dry-laid retaining walls. They're much easier to deal with, lock together nicely, and you get less gaps. No wet mortar needed. And we've stocked a multitude of colors. You can use them as an accent item to add character to your dry river or creek beds, too. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Our organic mulch is comprised of all trees. Most mulch is made from ground-up pallets, and you don't know what might have been spilled on those pallets. Could be chemicals or who knows what. But not our mulch, we're recycling trees. Many species of hardwoods. Cedar, hemlock, light brown, dark brown, mocha, black, red, gold, and caramel. 7 colors to choose from means a mulch to match any exterior. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Welcome back to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank. Business headlines on this July 3rd show with Rich Kirchen, senior reporter at the Milwaukee Business Journal. Rich, are you buying vinyl records these days?
Sure. I just bought one yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Or was it the day before?
Okay. What was it? Give us some insight.
It was a band from Zambia called Witch.
Okay.
So, that tells you something.
All right.
But, yeah, records are back.
Yeah.
If you go into a record store these days, they have records,
Yes.
which for a lot of years they didn't have many of those. So I think the number of records sold it exceeds CDs now, although there's been word of a CD comeback.
Yeah, that will be interesting to monitor for sure. I got a lot of CDs at home, and they're hard to resell.
Yes.
I would selfishly like to see a resurgence so I could get rid of a bunch of those. But when you look at the sound or you hear the sound from vinyl or CDs, the quality is much better than we're getting from our phones.
For sure.
So, and that's, one of the reasons why Milwaukee and other cities are really leaning into the craze more and more with vinyl listening lounges and cafes and bars, but they're not necessarily spaces that you're going to drink. You're going to listen and hang out and bring your vinyl records and just kind of build community. The city's newest vinyl listening space has plans to open this fall on Milwaukee's Brady Street. Seems like a pretty good fit for Brady Street, doesn't it?
Certainly. There's a lot of people there already. So, the hope is that some of them want to come in and listen to some of your records and buy some food and beverages while they're at it.
Yeah. So they're the couple, Kim and Todd. Actually, I just saw Todd a couple weekends ago at a restaurant. He told me that he's really excited about building out the space. Husband and wife team are going to own the business and property right on, it's like East Brady Street, 1200 East Brady Street. It used to be a futon store. It will be called the Deep Groove, and it will open in October. So the build-out is happening right now, and it's definitely a theme that we're seeing in the bar space, that it's not all about food and drink. It's about the experience. And, we have the Deep Groove on the city's east side. You have on KK. And also you look at what Discourse Coffee is doing in its green room with its vinyl records shop that's over on Barclay in the Radio Milwaukee building. I think there's a good opportunity here to expand upon the vinyl record space and really, continue to create community. And that's good from an entrepreneurial lens.
What about jukeboxes?
Ooh, yeah.
With actual 45s.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe that could be part of it too.
Well,
yeah, it's the Wiggle Room over in on KK in Bayview. So yeah, it definitely seems to be a trend.
Yes, without a doubt. Once it's open, they said they will be open Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 5:30 p.m. to midnight. So good hours. a hangout place. Let's keep an eye on what is happening on Brady Street. I like the continued reinvention of that street, and I wish the owners all the best. Their son will operate the business, so it's a family business. So the space looks really good. I'd encourage you to drive by and see what's happening along Milwaukee's Brady Street. A quick restaurant note. Milwaukee's 1033 is closing and dreaming up a new concept. Right on First Street used to be a restaurant called the Laughing Taco. Only been open for a year. What do you know about this? Do you think that the concept was just a little too high end, or are tastes changing a bit in the restaurant space?
Well, having been a Laughing Taco customer, I can only speak to that experience. It's sort of, some of it is the nature of the restaurant business. People try concepts in a given location, and some of them catch on and some don't. They're the only ones who know they and their bankers are the only ones who know sort of what was going on. And sometimes the effort involved, isn't paying off. Hard to say. This is in the shadow of the Allen Bradley Rockwell Clock Tower, so that part of Walker's Point is pretty active, and people are trying a lot of different things there.
Yeah, the owners are also involved in a wine and spirits business. Kind of going back and just reevaluating the business and seeing how they can reemerge with a concept that consumers really want to take to. That's what business is all about. All right, this is the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank. We'll continue our discussion with Rich Kirchen from the Milwaukee Business Journal when we return.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own Accunet Mortgage, with a tip for today's home shoppers. You already know inventory is low and both competition and home prices are high. That's probably why you should not go with your bank or your real estate agent's mortgage pal for your pre-approval. You see, the banks have lots of branches, fancy headquarters, vice presidents and assistant vice presidents, and the loan officers who get referrals from real estate agents, they're typically very highly paid. Who do you think pays for all that extra expense? Turns out it's you. High overhead and high compensation naturally translate into higher closing costs. At Accunet, our extreme efficiency and low overhead mean your closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks and other lenders for exactly the same rate. Don't light your hard-earned money on fire. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval today by clicking on the blue button and put the money you'll save in closing costs towards something for your new home. That's ACCUNET.com.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Our video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at Right Choice Tax Resolution. April 15th has come and gone. Now the love letters from the IRS and state start coming. Those certified green envelopes seem to strike fear in the person or business that gets them. You may also be lucky enough to get a personal visit from a revenue officer if you owe a lot of money. If you get a letter or visit, contact us immediately. We can help. We don't make judgments about why you got a letter or visit. We just want to help you resolve your situation so you can get on with your life. Don't let your bank account get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security check get cut in half with garnishments, or a lien put on your house so you can't sell it or get refinanced. The state can even put a hold on your occupational license. Make the right choice and visit rightchoicetax.us today. Schedule a free meeting so we can talk and come up with a solution to solve your situation now. If you wait, it will not go away. That's rightchoicetax.us.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for J.D. Griffiths. It was time for us. Our house was 20 plus years old, and the garage doors were getting dated. They were dinged up, and they were really hurting the value and the look of our house. That's why we called J.D. Griffiths, a local company. They've been at it in Milwaukee for more than 70 years, providing premier garage doors and building detached garages. We've got our new doors now, and they pop. I still got neighbors talking to me about it. Now, J.D. Griffiths does have an exclusive offer right now for you, the WTMJ listener. With any purchase of a new garage door, you can save $100 on your garage door opener. Just call 414-362-7222 and mention me, WTMJ's Eric Bilstead, or fill out the form at jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ to schedule your free at-home estimate and claim your deal. That number again, 414-362-7222. J.D. Griffiths.
Welcome back to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank. Business headlines. Thankful that Rich Kirchen joined us, fresh off vacation. How you feeling?
Oh, man.
Rested?
I woke up early today. just thinking about all the things I had to do. It's you're away for a week these days, and got to get back into it, man.
When you're on vacation, are you able to get away from the headlines and the news?
I don't. You don't get away from the headlines in the news in general. I'm still looking at them multiple times a day. Yeah. It's a habit. That being said, yeah. I mean, once I get to about the third day, I have extended periods of not thinking about work and not thinking about all kinds of serious stuff and just hanging out.
That's good. That is good. That's good for the soul as well. So,
yes.
A downtown Milwaukee office tower has been, just yesterday, deemed historic by city officials, despite it only being 35 years old. What do you know about the 100 East Tower? Right there, used to be truly the center of gravity in downtown Milwaukee, right on water in Wisconsin Avenue.
Right. Well, I think the irony or the interesting fact here is the demolition to create the site for this building, for 100 East, sort of, as I understand it, spurred Milwaukee's Historic Preservation Ordinance. There was a beautiful, ornate, historic building. I think it was the Pabst Tower.
Okay.
At that corner, which 100 East somewhat mimics that design. But that was torn down, and the city couldn't do anything about it. And I'm sure there were plenty of economic reasons the developers wanted the new building. But so here we are 35 years later, and now that building, which is not that old, is considered historic.
Yes. At 35
Which
years.
makes it eligible for historic renovation tax credits, the reason the new developers, the new owners, are seeking that.
Yeah, so the new ownership group will not, from last year, purchase the building. The ownership group includes Johnny Vassallo, Joseph Klein, and Klein Development bought the building last year for about $29 million, and they plan to turn it into 350 apartments. Right now, obviously, it used to be office space, pretty much vacant, so they needed the tax credits to continue to move that project forward. From the city's lens, and I watched some of the hearing yesterday, the overall thought was, yes, we need to move this forward because we need to continue what the downtown master plan says. We need to continue to grow our residential base. And this is a huge opportunity for 350 more housing units right in the heart of downtown Milwaukee.
Well, and then the former M&I Marshall Millsley Bank building, also a 1960s building, which I believe is also considered historic, but that's probably going to have a lot of apartments, so just a block or so away. But and it's difficult with this big of an office building to create apartments because it's a huge floor plate, and there's only so many spots with windows. You can't have windows on all sides of your new apartments.
Yeah. And obviously, you look at the outlook moving forward for 2024 in commercial real estate, it's kind of mixed, but people think, wow, it's really easy. Let's just convert these office towers into residential. But there are significant costs that go into that project, into a project like that. But it's good to see that the developers and the owners and the city are moving forward with 100 East. And we'll see what happens next right there on the corner of Water and Wisconsin Avenue. When we come back from the break, we'll continue and finalize our conversation with Rich Kirchen, senior reporter from the Milwaukee Business Journal. This is The Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank.
It's like playing baseball in the house.
Mom, Dad broke the window.
Without the risk of...
Again.
That. Every Thursday at 8:40, play virtual baseball on Wisconsin's Morning News. Step up to the virtual plate and test your mettle against the best.
Swing and a drive to right
It's virtual baseball, presented by Siding Unlimited. Only played here on WTMJ.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperfiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semperfi.
Ask about our finance options.
Parents and grandparents, have your kid's birthday party at the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford or Oshkosh. The party rooms are free, and they'll love the massive game room and pizza with no cooking or cleanup. Book your birthday party at MineShaftRestaurant.com.
I'm Dave Sager. I'm the chairman of Bethlehem Evangelical Lutheran Church and School. In 1998, we made a decision to buy some property in Germantown. It was always the mindset someday we would build a church on that property. Horicon Bank bent over backwards for us repeatedly. I can't tell you how many times I reached out to Michelle on a Saturday, on a Sunday. Can you help me out? And it would not be possible without Horicon Bank and Catalyst Construction. Just amazing individuals, and it's all family.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, it's a deeper dive into the offseason as Marcus and Chris recap the NBA draft. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing, joined today by senior reporter at the Milwaukee Business Journal, Rich Kirchen. Rich, the historic downtown Pfister Hotel is completing its, I believe, $20 million in renovations at the hotel on East Wisconsin Avenue. What are you hearing in terms of the process, and will it be ready by the RNC?
Well, they've been working on this for a number of years, sort of going through the building one section at a time, which makes sense. They've been able to stay open the whole time.
Yeah.
Certainly, they would like to have this thing ready in time for the convention, which starts very soon. And there's no doubt it's a prime spot for the VIP guests.
Yes. So they've upgraded the ballroom, some meeting and event space, redid all the guest rooms, and now the lobby is kind of the final thing that's being finalized. Most notable, you go into the lobby, you kind of look up at that ceiling mural. That's being refurbished by the same company that did it back in 1993. So if you stop in at the Pfister Hotel, make sure you walk through the lobby and look up at the beautiful mural. That will be all returned to its splendid glory and refurbished, all open in time for the RNC in a couple weeks. New CEO at Children's Hospital.
Yes, Peggy Troy has been the CEO for 15 years and really has had a high profile in the Milwaukee and Wisconsin community, not just for pediatric health, but community health overall, and has grown their system along the eastern part of the state. She did announce her retirement October of last year, and they started a search and just recently announced Gil Perry, who most recently led a pediatric hospital in Indianapolis. It was part of Indiana University Health, will be starting in mid-August. So big changing of the guard there.
Okay. Yeah, like you said, most recently in Indianapolis, a 485-bed children's health system that was part of Indiana University Health and Indiana University School of Medicine. He also had executive leadership roles at Connecticut Children's Medical Center, Children's Hospital in Colorado, and actually the Children's Hospital Colorado and Nationwide Children's Hospital. So welcome to the Milwaukee area. Also, you have a new boss. Right,
what?
Rich?
You were on vacation.
You were on vacation. This news is just hitting me.
This always happens.
I'm breaking news to Rich on the air here.
Oh, man. No, yes, seriously, we did learn, I think it was before I went on vacation, that we have a new editor. His name is, I better get this right, Timothy Gibbons. He's been the editor for a number of years at we're part of a company called American City Business Journals. It's in over 40 metro areas. One of them is Jacksonville, Florida, which is where Tim has been the editor, and we did have a video meeting with him, the way things are these days. He is going to be in our office starting next week, so we'll meet him in person. But seems like a very personable guy, and he's from Pennsylvania originally, and he also had lived in Germany. So, so that sort of covered the weather question. I mean, he does know what winter is. It's not like winter in Jacksonville, but yeah, he's going to bring some new energy and expertise and perspective to our newsroom.
All right, very good. And, we lived in Germany. That works well with the Milwaukee culture. So
no doubt.
All right, that will be fun and interesting to see what changes he may make to the paper and kind of put his own stamp on the news and continue to grow the entity that you're very proud to be a part of.
I am.
All right, very good. What are the 4th of July plans in the Kirchen household?
Well, we'll see. I probably will be visiting my parents in Wauwatosa.
Very good. The Wauwatosa Parade, always one of my favorites.
I'm actually trying to avoid that, but they live sort of close to that. But I think I'll be able to get in and out with, How about you?
All right. We will be at the Shorewood Parade and then going out west to Delafield for the fireworks later in the weekend. Should be festive. Whatever you're doing this weekend, have a wonderful time. Thank you for joining us. This is the Upswing presented by Horicon Bank. Wisconsin's Midday News is coming up next.
We all love Saturdays, but are they really all that rewarding? I mean, do you really feel rewarded after mowing the lawn or doing